Joining us right now is New York Democratic Party Chair Jay Jacobs and a close ally of Governor Cuomo. Nice to have you back on Good Day New York.
Well, good morning, and thanks for having me.
So we talked to you last week, and you had mentioned to us that you were talking to the governor and encouraging him to resign. I'm sure that you talked to him yesterday. What was that conversation like?
Well, that was more of a conversation of me calling to tell him that I thought he did the right thing. I know how hard it was for him to do it, but it was important that he step aside at this point. And it was just a friendly conversation. I've known the governor for a very long time. I know in circumstances like this, people tend to want to hide from tough conversations, but I think it's important that you have them. And I had one with him on the Wednesday after the Attorney General's report came out, and I thought it only appropriate that I talked to him yesterday. And as I say, we have known each other, been friends for a long time, and I feel badly for him personally, but again, he did do the right thing.
How did he seem to you? Did he seem emotional? Because he was very stoic yesterday during his press conference.
Yeah, I would describe it the same way on the phone call. I think that he appreciated the call. He was very appropriate, and it was not a long conversation. It wasn't particularly short, but, it was just an amicable discussion. I wished him well over the next 14 days for the transition, and certainly said if I could be helpful in any fashion, I would. But that's all.
And you've obviously known the governor for a long time, and I know that yesterday he kind of still talked about these being generational norms that he was used to that other people weren't. Throughout the years, have you seen that take place? Have you seen anyone maybe act a little bit, I guess, different if somebody approached you and you kissed it and you didn't like it? Like, have you witnessed that in person?
No, I really never did. But, I don't want to characterize the allegations in any fashion. I think that the Attorney General's report speaks for itself. But when I was with him, and he is that way. I mean, I've kidded with people. It's true, he's kissed me. But the fact of the matter is that times are very different. And but I think this was more than just times being different.
Yeah. I do want to ask you something. Maybe going back to watching his career as COVID took hold of the city and the state, and you saw this rise in the public eye as a very great public leader. What would someone else's opinion, kind of telling him, you should write this book before the pandemic is over? I mean, that had to have been maybe something that he would step back and look on. Maybe he would have been like, I maybe wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, I never thought that was a good idea. I wasn't asked whether it was a good idea or not. But I just think that sometimes you get carried away and you overplay your hand, and this may have been one of those circumstances. Though I believe that he genuinely feels he had a good story to tell, and I think when it's fully written and fully understood, people will agree that during the pandemic, he did show great leadership.
So is there a future for Governor Cuomo within the party?
Well, I've said it time and again, I told him this in a conversation that we had the day after the AG's report came out, that in America, there's always been a place for redemption for public individuals, public people who, do run into difficulties like he's run into. And, if he handles things the right way, much like Richard Nixon had a bit of a comeback, never going back to elective office, and I don't see that for him either, he was able to, provide counsel and advice to political and elected leaders many years later. And I think the same is true for Andrew Cuomo. I think he'll have that ability to be involved in the process, perhaps write, who knows. I think there's a future for him, but I don't see it in elective office.
So what about Kathy Hochul? What can you tell us about the lieutenant governor, soon to be the governor, the first woman governor of New York?
It's not unusual that most people don't really know the lieutenant governor very well. But I have to tell you, when people get to meet Kathy Hochul, see her in action, watch her leadership, get to know her as a human being, somebody who's got great empathy and care for the people that she represents, they're gonna really come to love Kathy Hochul. I think she's gonna be an extraordinary leader. She's been to all 62 counties. She knows this state backwards and forwards. She knows the elected officials that she's going to have to work with. She understands the structure of state government, the departments, the agencies, the budgeting process. So she comes in to her office with a head start. And I think that you're going to see that from day one when she takes the helm.
Does she clean house when she comes in?
Well, I don't know. That's going to be up to her. I'm sure there are people of great value in the Cuomo government that she's going to keep. Of course, certain people associated with the governor's current troubles, will probably move on. But I would say that, there are some very talented people in state government right now. And just because there's a change at the top doesn't mean that you give up on some real good talent. So my guess is she's going to be pretty judicious in her decision making, and she'll keep those that she feels she can work with and who provide value.
Jay Jacobs, chair of the New York State Democratic Committee. We always appreciate having you on Good Day New York.
Thank you.
Thanks.